In this video, I'll be surviving 100 days in a hardcore Terraria mod. But before we begin, I'll go over the rules. No totems, no villagers, no vanilla tools, armor, or potions. With these rules, I'll actually be playing the mod as intended. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Psst, don't forget to subscribe. On day 1, I spawned next to a village, so I began stealing. In a cave, I had already cheated, as I made a wood pickaxe. There's no other way of collecting stone or tin, so I had to. The rest of the day, I spent just mining the tin and making armor. Day 2 started off with me looking for a place to build, as I don't need the village anymore. I saw a lot of potential in this cliff formation, so that's where I decided to build. The arrows in the middle of my screen just point to mobs. It's part of the mod for some reason, don't mind them. On day 3, I noticed an island in the sky. I was too afraid to go, so I just cut down trees most of the day. When I got back, I didn't realize how low I was and almost died. On day 4, I got to work on the base. I don't know where I was going with this, but it looks terrible. It's gonna change in the future. While exploring, I noticed many wells appear around the map, and I decided to go down. I found out that under them are mine shafts. I spent the next 2 days getting ores. Unexpectedly, I found a gold chest. From it, I got a magic mirror and a suspicious eye. This eye will let me spawn the first boss, but I need to get much better gear before even trying to beat him. Then, I just went back to mining. When I teleported back, it was already the night of day 6. On day 7, it was time I got better tools. In this mod, gold tools are the best tools and armor that I can get right now. Gold tools are usually weak, but if you combine 3 gold ingots with the vanilla tools, they get much better, giving them much more durability and the armor much more protection. While mining, I found a life crystal. These permanently increase your health by 2 hearts. This would be the only way I could survive these difficult bosses. And after, I just went back to mining. While looting a chest, some mob did 9 hearts of damage to me, and I had no choice but to recall home. Day 8 started with me making a better bow, as I don't want to get close to every mob. You can charge it up all the way, or you can spam it. While exploring, I found a lava pool and mined obsidian. When it turned night, I wanted to test out my bow. It seemed like holding it down and lining up my shot was the best way to use it. Day 9 started with me making a platinum sword, as I've been using tin for too long. I know, I'm spending too much time in the caves, but this would be the last time, I swear. I just need to mine gold and get my hearts to max. In a chest, I found a cloud in a bottle. This would be very useful for getting around. But while mining, my trip was cut short. An evil presence was watching me. This meant the Eye of Cthulhu would spawn. I got back and started smelting instantly, hoping to have enough for gold armor. But considering I'm in master mode with tin armor, I could not beat him, so I had to sleep so he wouldn't spawn. Day 10, I was in the caves again. I didn't think I'd have to come back, but all I needed was just a few more crystals and that's all. One of the mobs I killed dropped a yo-yo. It seemed pretty strong. Then I found a girl who was covering herself. I was scared to get close, but when I did, she turned green and started chasing me. At night, I put on my golden armor and summoned the boss. It wasn't even close. In his treasure bag, I got Crimtane and the Shield of Cthulhu, which would let me dash like he did. Day 11 started with me looking at Callista's eyes. Then, I went up to the Sky Island, only to find nothing. Since exploring this had been my entire plan for today, I decided to explore the world, as I needed to find vertebrae in order to craft the next sword. I found nothing, just these cool lights. Day 12, still nothing, and I got so mad that I downloaded a journey map. I told you the base would change, so on day 13, I destroyed the whole thing, except I forgot to record it. Good thing though, that base was terrible. On day 14, I started making my new house. It might have looked really short, but getting all the resources and building this took until day 12. But it was worth it, because the base looks so much better than before. When you kill a boss in Master Mode, they drop relics. They look really nice and I wanted to collect as many as I could in this world. On day 21, I crafted some flaming arrows to use with my gold bow, and I got right to exploring. At night, I had found the Crimson Biome. This is the worst place in the world. Since it was night, I decided to teleport home and return tomorrow. Day 22, I was back and I needed my vertebrae. Nobody told me there would be blood creepers, and I almost died to one. Then, I found a red cave. It was really dark when I went down, and it was filled with mobs. While exploring the hallways, I found a glowing heart. When I broke it, I got the Undertaker and the Rotted Fork. On day 23, I thought I looked cool with the spear. Both the Rotted Fork and the Undertaker were disappointingly trash. Then, I crafted the Blood Butcherer. It would do a sweep no matter if you hit an enemy or not, yet it did less damage than my bow. With my spare diamonds, I crafted a diamond hook, which let me grapple onto blocks. Then I repaired all my armor for the next boss. I got some campfires and heart lanterns which would heal me in the fight. On day 24, I broke 2 more hearts, which spawned the brain. He did much more damage than the Eye, but I still managed to kill him. On day 25, I put down his relic and crafted the Deathbringer pickaxe, along with the Crimson armor. It looked like a major upgrade compared to gold. Then, I found Lorenzo, who fell in a hole. I spent all of day 25 just looking at things I could craft. On day 26, I began exploring again. This time, I needed a jungle biome. I did get sidetracked and found a sky island with actual loot this time. Later, I found a sky city. I didn't know what could be up there, and I didn't want to get sidetracked. Then, I got sidetracked, but I found a lucky horseshoe which negates all fall damage. It works. On day 27, I found yet another sky island until the blood moon rose. Hordes of blood zombies waited outside. I thought this thing was getting bigger. Don't play this at 1 AM. It didn't matter if I fought them or not, the zombies just kept coming. I even tried fighting them outside. Then, a meteor landed. I actually thought my world was ending at this point. It was pure chaos. On day 28, the blood moon was over, and I found a piggy bank, which would be like a second inventory, and it helped a lot. Then, I was in the jungle. I needed things like stingers and jungle spores to craft a blade of grass. When I got back, I didn't get nearly enough, so I went to a new jungle biome. I really need to use night vision more. While dashing around, this happened. Luckily, I have 4 rows of hearts. On day 30, I had gotten enough stingers and spores to make the blade of grass. It was underwhelming. Then, I decided to go up to the sky city I saw before. It was just a village, but, well, in the sky. The loot was pretty bad until I saw the main building. I had just found all the books I would need forever. I also found cloud bread, pretty cool. I forgot to mention here that I'm gonna put all my old armor on display. I enchanted all my tools and started terraforming my hill. Since my new tools are unbreakable, this was the perfect time to get started on it. This is how I got all the wood I needed. On day 39, it was time for the Nether. I was trying to be as safe as possible here. I wanted to mine hellstone, but I forgot this happened. I hate these bone snakes so much. I tried to put hellstone in a furnace, it didn't work, because I needed hellforge to turn obsidian and hellstone ore into hellstone ingots. So I went to the Nether to look for one. Day 41, I found a Nether fortress. I couldn't find a hellforge anywhere. Remember when I said I hated bone snakes? Here's why. Day 42, I needed some clue to where I could even find a hellforge. Then I found this structure. This block tried to kill me. I found a chair on a lever. Why is this in the mod? When I got to the top, I found a room with chests. I definitely need a key or something to open them. So, on day 43, I put that aside and started brewing modded potions. Then, I put on all the speed buffs I could and started looking for the Skeletron dungeon. I kept looking and looking until I found a shipwreck with water walking boots. What did you expect them to do? On day 45, I hoped the guide could help me, and he didn't. So, I made the slime crown and summoned King Slime. This should be easy. I might have underestimated him, but I had this cool slime I can ride now. I really wanted to find a dungeon, but instead I found the Star Fury, which seemed to be stronger than the Blade of Grass by a lot. Day 48, still no dungeon. Day 49, goblins invaded, so I could really test out my Star Fury. Day 50, the Goblin Tinker arrived. I bought his rocket boots and workshop. This is basically what the workshop does. So I combined my accessories to make lightning boots. Now I could go extremely high. I wanted to look for the dungeon again until a ruined portal caught my attention. Inside was a note. It told me to go to one of these. The gravestone said to bring a meteor compass, so I made one and brought it back. I right-clicked it and I got a dungeon compass, exactly what I needed. If you put it on, it points to the nearest dungeon, so I followed it and got there, and instantly started building an arena. Since I had been using bread the whole time, it was time I got golden carrots. On day 52, I started going back to the dungeon. I made my arena, placed my campfires and lanterns, and spawned Skeletron. It was close. Skeletron did a lot of damage, but I had still won. Then, I was off to the dungeon. There were a lot of chests with okay loot, but I was here for a few other things. Golden keys that opened locked gold chests for the Muramasa, and some other type of key that would give me a clue on how I could get a Hellforge. First chest gave me a yo-yo that I'd never used. Second chest was trash. Third had the shadow key, and on the fourth, I found the Muramasa. On day 56, I opened the shadow chests. They had some okay loot, but no Hellforge yet. Day 57, still no Hellforge. On day 58, I was still looking around and got hot tourist destinations. While looking, I found a bastion, no sign of Hellforge. Day 60, I was still looking until I found another shadow chest structure. This time, I decided to look around more and I found the Hellforge. I forgot I needed obsidian for this too. I didn't mine nearly enough hellstone to make the armor. I'm not hacking, it's a splunker potion. On day 62, I tried blowing up obsidian. I didn't know why I thought it would work. As soon as I got the volcano, I tried using it on Fog. The volcano is so strong you don't even need to hit your enemy. But here's the real reason I spend so long getting these swords. I combined them into the Knight's Edge, the strongest sword I would have for a while. On day 63, I crafted the Molten Armor. The design on this is really nice, and it was much stronger than the Crimtane armor, which I put on display. I needed just a bit more hellstone for a few extra things. I made the Hellstone pickaxe and the imp staff, which spawn little minions that shoot fire at my enemies. On day 64, I enchanted my pickaxe and started terraforming. On day 67, I worked on my roof. That was a major upgrade. Then, I went to the ice biome to find Flink's fur for the next boss. Just look how strong the Knight's Edge is. On day 69, I crafted the deer thing and spawned the deer clops. I had way too much gear for him to be a threat. But remember, this is hardcore. I couldn't take any chances. On day 70, I was back to the jungle. I really wanted that Queen Bee relic. On day 71, I still hadn't found the Queen Bee. So I quit and began terraforming my mountaintop. And no, this isn't an excuse to use my overpowered tools. Why would you even think that? On day 74, I put the finishing touches down and this happened. I thought this was the funniest thing ever at 1 AM. So, like any other person, I started doing this to everyone. But then I locked in and got to building homes for my NPCs. I don't know how this guy survived. And with that, my NPC's homes are done. So I started covering the whole mountain with deep slate. This is how I got so much of it. Day 78, I was still placing deep slate. This is what I had done on day 79. Day 81, a tragedy happened. I had moved Kalista out the way and she died. I took a moment to grieve this tragedy. This was the progress on day 82. I'm just gonna skip these next few days because all I did was place bricks, and you clicked on this video for another reason. On day 99, I needed to kill demons for the Wall of Flesh summon. After I got it, I went back home to make a better bow and grab potions. It was time. He dropped a huge sword, a summoner emblem, and a demon heart. And with that, I had just spent 100 days in the Terraria Minecraft mod. It was honestly one of the best mods I've played. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if this video somehow gets 5,000 likes, I'll do another 200 days. Ghosty out.